Welcome back, everybody, to another installment of the hashtag TFR
TFR
Motivation Monday Zoom. We are Dr. Dondi and Marcy
Hi,
Nettles.
guys.
We are your hosts tonight, and we've got some, it's going to be great information, but it's going to be revealing, close to home, kind of transparent. Let's just be honest. It's our story.
Yeah.
My story specifically. I'm going to share some vulnerable moments. So is Marcy, because that's really the only way we know how to tell it is from our own vantage point.
Yeah, so we're doing something a little bit different with the call tonight. Instead of having all of the announcements in the TFR call, we're doing a live video on Facebook on Monday mornings so you can catch all of the details there. If you're not part of the Team Freedom Reigns team, make sure that you're paying attention to your emails from corporate, because that's where we get all the information, guys. So make sure that you're paying attention to the emails so that you know what's going on, including that, flash sale that's going on right now. So go and check out your emails. But for the details of the call and to be able to watch the replays, make sure that you go to YouTube and subscribe to Team Freedom Reigns. Make sure you subscribe, but also ring the bell and ask for notifications for every time we upload new content. As a matter of fact, I just uploaded a really cool video. Erin Brockovich sharing her preferred body and targeted care products. Since I posted it, do you have an idea what products they might be? All right, guys,
go
make
check
sure.
it out.
Yeah, seriously. Team Freedom Reigns on YouTube. All right, you ready to jump into this?
Yes, let's dive into this.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about where we were at, first of all, this past weekend. Up in Salt Lake City, we were at the second Vision Summit. This is a Friday and Saturday event where on Friday we have it. It's all about why LifeVantage, building belief in our corporate structure, in our corporate executives, and in this opportunity. And it's in the corporate office, which is really, really awesome.
That's the coolest part.
Yeah.
Actually.
And then on Saturday, we spend, about 5.5 hours going over the how to really build your business. And when we saw everything that we have at our fingertips and, the ability to be able to share in all the different ways, we had an epiphany. What would you like to say about the event?
Well, the event is amazing. The event is something, it's the second weekend of every month, except for the months that we have corporate events like the coming up Global Academy next month and also Elite Academy. So it's on non-Elite Academy and non-Global Convention months, but it's the second weekend of every month at corporate headquarters. Well, I'll just tell you some feedback that I got from an attendee, from somebody who was a prospect, who had seen some videos, had actually been through the ITT process, been on a three-way call, talked to some people, watched some videos, talked to some representatives of the company. But he said nothing prepares you like being actually in the corporate offices and being taken on a tour of the entire facility. That's when it really becomes real. And when you're standing in a multi-million dollar building and you're looking around going, this is the state of the art, everything, it makes it real and you really can't deny it. Now, the products may not end up being for you. The business opportunity may not end up being for you, but when you're there and you see it, you know the company's legit. And then you get a chance to hear from the executives and the top field leadership. There's nothing like that experience. And for the 2-day experience for prospects and for distributors that are looking to relaunch or launch their business for the first time, it is an absolutely must attend, and it's free. You just have to get there and cover your own lodging. Everything else is taken care of. It's the heavy lifting done by corporate in the corporate global headquarters. There's nothing like it to see what we really have. So that would be my experience.
You get to really kind of peel back the layers of the corporate staff too. They, the stories that they share, the way that they share them in this more intimate group was so impactful. I mean, when Dr. Brian Dixon is talking about his father and his illness and him knowing that it came from food and his inability to change the way that he made decisions around the food that he made, and that's why he was so sick, and his ahas around that and just how much that touched him. He was crying on this small stage in front of us sharing his story. It was just so impactful. So these are the types of opportunities. Plus, guess what? They shared some inside stuff, not really inside stuff, but they just told us stuff a little bit early before the field heard it. And so that's something else that you get at this amazing event. So Vision Summit, the next one will be the second weekend in November. But remember, you have to pre-register for that. So reach out if you'd like that link.
Yeah. I guess probably the best way to summarize it in one word would be magnitude.
Mhm.
You really get a chance to see the magnitude of what truly LifeVantage is all about from the actual corporate headquarters, the global headquarters. There's nothing like that experience.
So with this event, what it does is it just kind of opens your mind a little bit differently. And that's exactly what happened for us over the weekend. And I would kind of, I don't know, when do you want to share your story about what happened for you on Friday? Because that was
I definitely
like
want to,
very
it was, I've always been a
emotional.
perfectionist. And if you see the title of this slide, it's perfectionism versus earning while you learn. I've always been a perfectionist. I've always wanted to be my best, do my best, excel, and put it out. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it right, and I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities. That's just how I'm wired. It's how I've always been from the time I was old enough to walk and talk. That was what my parents noticed in me, that I'm just going to strive for excellence. Sometimes, though, that can be paralyzing.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason, and I'll be completely transparent here, my desire is to be perfect in everything that I do and make it look polished.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is I'm thinking about it from my vantage point. I rarely think about, or tend to rarely think about, the people on the other end. And we're going to close tonight's message with that, is that when you make it about other people, it's easier to do away with, because you can never be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with wanting to put out excellence. But when it's at the expense of other people, and when my desire to be perfect was costing someone else an opportunity because I was so caught up in what I was doing, I didn't have the ability to talk with them. And there's been situations where I'm working on something and somebody walks over to me, a stranger, sees Axio on the back of my computer. Oh, what's Axio? And it's what I'm drinking. But I'm so focused on what I'm doing, I don't take that as an opportunity to talk to a stranger who's reaching out to me. And it wasn't until they left and it's like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? How important is this PowerPoint presentation? Is it literally more important than somebody coming over to me and asking me about something and me just not being there because I'm wanting it to be perfect? That's an example of a problem.
Yeah, well,
it's a problem.
And part of it comes down to is if you have to have a guarantee that you're going to win before you'll even play in your first game, you are never going to get started, right? Because there is not that guarantee. And the only way you can actually get to your win is by starting out where you are and doing the activities that it takes to learn, grow, and empower yourself to do more and more every single day, sharing this information with more people, not waiting, but by actually doing the behaviors that are set in front of you with the tools and everything that you need to be able to be successful. And that's where it comes down to the perfection versus earning while you learn. And the way LifeVantage has it set up for you to be able to earn income, earn all those bonuses while you're actually learning how to be a professional. Gosh, I just say, let's get started. Yeah. How about you guys?
You know, the other thing about perfectionism, it's not duplicatable.
No.
It's a cancer.
It's not.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be your best, but when you are doing everything to be perfect, it's a cancer and it will stall your business and nobody can duplicate that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it also creates conflict. Do you care if I talk about conflict a little bit? It creates conflict, you know, especially if you are business partners with people that you live with. And one of us is just, okay, I'm going to go do. I'm going to do this stuff, even though I'm not perfect at it. I'm going to do it. I'm seeing what other people are doing. I see the benefits and what successes they're getting. So I'm going to go and I'm going to try doing what they do, even if it doesn't work for me right away. Obviously, it takes time to perfect that, right? And yes, we do want to get better and better and better, but it's a journey to perfection. And then on the other side of it, the other person is like, well, no, we have to have a plan. We have to do exactly this. We have to know exactly when we're doing this stuff. And we have to practice before we can even get in the game. And I agree, you need to have some understanding of where to find the information that you need. But guess what, guys? Do not fill this with all of the facts. You need to be able to leave this open and free and know where to find the stuff and stick into here. Get into your heart and share from your heart. It's not where the knowledge comes from. This is where the caring comes from, right? So when you have one person that is trying to do that and the other person that wants to be completely perfect right out before we can get started, there was a lot of this going on. And yes, that is our story and it's been our story for a while. And so Don D, will you share what your recollection was of your practice and some of the things that you've said in the past that kind of caused some issues?
and so in the connection is in my practice, I base it because I had very, very large success in my practice. But most of it was innovative. I went out and blazed my own trail, did things my own way, and suffered through a lot of things, learned a lot of things, but it was very, very, very successful. But there was a significant urgency there. It's how I was making money. So I had to go out and do, otherwise money wasn't coming in. It was on the downtime that I was getting innovative, when patients weren't there, and my business grew very, very rapidly. Well, looking at LifeVantage as an elite distributor, the money coming in is pretty good. The urgency is not the same. When I was brand new in practice and had a mortgage and had an overhead and had staff and all of those things, it depended on money making income or money generating activities, income generating activities. It's a little different here. And so my goal to be perfect, going back to those things, what I realized is there I had urgency, here not as much. And it wasn't the same comparison. So it really wasn't fair in Marcy's defense when she's wanting, let's go do this, let's go do this, do this. He's like, yeah, but let's just focus on how we're going to do this. The amalgam of the two, the desire to do your best, always embrace that. But at the sake of sacrificing activity that somebody could benefit from while you're still trying to perfect, not a wise choice. But it's kind of like practicing all the time and never getting in the game. The only reason to practice is for game time. Practice is absolutely imperative. The people that show up early at practice and stay late at practice are usually the ones that excel in the game, but they have to play the game. That's where the conflict sometimes came in. And so thank you for being transparent. I mean, I want you guys to realize we hold nothing back. If we can share with you what we've learned to help you be better at what you're doing, why not? That's the whole purpose of this. And it's kind of my way of dismissing perfection for sake of earning while we learn and going out for the person on the other end's benefit. Well, like I said, we're going to close tonight with that strategy or that concept. All right. So let's get into the meat of this.
Sounds good.
Perfectionism versus earning while you're learning. So where did this learn before you earn model come from? It's the programming. If you think about why people go to college, they go to college for a degree. That degree will open a door that without the degree wouldn't, for a higher paying job. Yes, but you have to go get the degree before you get the job. The education comes before the job.
Yeah, it's that whole adage of going to school and getting good grades so that you can get a good job, or so that you can get into college so that you can get a degree so that you can get a good job.
So you can retire with a pension.
Yeah. Craziness.
Antiquated system.
Yeah, it's not what we're doing here. It's not what we're doing here. So that's not the model that we want to be bringing over into this ability to earn while we learn.
Right. Well, let's clarify that, because in order to do things like become a doctor or a lawyer or something, like, you have to go to college. You can't just, okay, I'm gonna be a doctor today with no education, and go ahead, lay down, let me play around, let me practice on you, because doctors practice, right? But they have education to back that up.
I do want my doctor to have a degree. Yes,
I want my doctor to be
that's not what we're doing here.
Trained,
that's what
highest educated.
Right, guys? That's not what we're doing.
No.
Being able to be a professional network marketer, you don't have to have any of those qualifications. You don't have to have that degree or look a certain way or talk a certain way or know everything, right? We want you guys to know that you can come in exactly where you are when you first learn about LifeVantage and start making money. It's just a matter of doing the do that you need to do in order to get that paycheck, right? It's not just learn. Yes, personal growth is super, super, super important, but it's the actual putting into action and using the system and the team that is going to help you start creating that income, because you can do it faster than later.
Ignorance on fire.
Yeah. That's a superpower.
Right. It is.
I think that they should say ignorance
superpower.
on fire instead of hair on fire, right? I think it's ignorance on fire. Let's put this ignorance on fire. But the thing is, guys, is that you can always go back to that ignorance and that start again factor, because that's what we're doing. We are going just ignorance on fire, because, and the thing is that really learning the app and doing, because Donnie has not been using the app very much prior to Friday. Okay.
That's not true.
Well,
That's not all
as
the way true.
much.
I've been using a lot more, but yes, not as
Yeah,
much.
as much. I'm saying for the actual process.
Right.
So you've been putting people in there, but for the actual process. And so for him to get in there and to be able to do it, it was uncomfortable because he didn't really know it. It didn't feel really comfortable. And so now he has jumped into it, and he is going to be going ignorance on fire and utilizing the ITT system, and the way that they have it now to where you can connect to all social media platforms is freaking brilliant.
That was the catalyst for me, is when it went social, the ability to go social, it just gave it a whole nother, because, and I'll be completely honest, I still have PTSD from the old app. The old app that we've been having for years. I got gun shy of it. It was so unpredictable. And so it's not fair. It's not that fair. It's not that way anymore. Hot Kamali and his team have really it's not even anywhere. It's 99.999% different than the old app. I was just not giving. So I'll call it myself a late bloomer into the app. But it is absolutely transformational. If you haven't downloaded it, you need to. You're already behind the eight ball.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and keep going here.
So this whole thing at LifeVantage, earning while you learn, we call it OJT, on the job training with the ITT, Invite Tool Team. The app is perfect for this. So go out and do it wrong. It's better to do it wrong than not do it at all, because when you do it wrong, you get practice. You have an example of what not to do. If you've never done it before, that example won't come until later. And what if that is a very important time when you learn the lesson of how to do it wrong? Get all the fail forward fast. Fail forward fast. The only way to fail is to go do. And the only way to do is to stop trying to be perfect and go out and do it.
Yep.
On the job training with ITT. So this is, I love this quote from Winston Churchill. He who fails to plan is planning to fail. So make a plan. The plan is to be successful. How do you make a plan? Look at the income disclosure and figure out which one of those monthly paychecks you wouldn't mind having every month. Plan like that. Then just go do ITT once, twice, 3 times, again and again and again and again and again and again and again, until you get to the level that you decided that you wanted. And once you get there, keep doing it and you'll go to the next level. That's the plan. It doesn't have to be polished. It's not a business plan. I had to put a business plan together for my practice. There's no business plan here. It's so simple. Literally look at the income disclosure. What monthly income would you like? Look to the left and see what the title is. Look to the right to see how long it takes, and let's get busy. And put people in the app, get the information out there following the Invite Tool Team, because he who fails to plan is planning to fail. And that's not you.
No, it's not.
So what is the plan?
What is it?
Marcy has become very fond of this quote by Ben Franklin. A good plan today is better than a perfect plan tomorrow.
And you could throw in there, the best invite, the best reach out, the best presentation, the best follow up, right? The best whatever, right, is the one that you do. If you don't go and do what you know how to do, you don't have to be perfect at it and wait until you are perfect. Nothing will ever get done, and you will not reach and accomplish the plan that you set out, right? So the best reach out, invite, presentation, and follow up is the one that you actually do, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so simple, but it makes so much sense. It's so deep. So we got to make things happen. And just think about it. There's so many options. The only way you can't build this business is if you become a hermit and you stay in your house. That's the only way.
And stay off of social media and stay, don't interact with anybody ever.
So,
because you could stay in your house and build this business.
Yeah. Let me
I'm like, what are you saying?
That. There's people that only stay in their house. That are 100% social media and they do it, but they're doing something. They're sharing information. They're being humans. They're having interaction with people. They're giving a crap, if I could be blunt. How do you build this business? You care about people. Ask them questions, show an interest. not just like what they say, comment on what they say, then go to their page and just interact with them if you're going to do it on social media. Add value. Best definition ever. You can do it face to face. You can do it with social media. You can do it on the app. You can join networking groups through your chamber of commerce or whatever. I've done all of those. You can go walk your dog in the dog park and bring some pet tandem with you and train your dog to come when you shake the bottle of pet tandem, and do it in front of wait until the benches at the dog parks are full, and then shake the bottle and watch your dog come running, and everyone else is going to go, what is that? And then your dog freaks out and you give him a pet tandem and the dog runs off. Conversation starter.
Yeah.
Hello. You can do the same thing on a plane with an Axio. We call it the Axio puff. To tear open the Axio, put it in the bottle of water, and then put it face up and just squeeze it. Let the little puff come out. It's going to go everywhere because those little things above you, the air vents, they blow it everywhere else. And now people follow their nose. Remember Toucan Sam and Fruit Loops? It works the same with Axio puff. People are going to start engaging you. Be available, drink it in front of them, shake it even if it's already shook up, shake it again, because shaking it draws attention.
Yeah, those shaker balls are loud. Use them to your benefit, right?
Use it in the gym.
Sure, yes, and anywhere that you go, make sure that you're using your products in public, right? And doing short videos and sharing it in your socials, on your stories, when you're mixing up your Axio, when you're getting ready to take your stack, all of it, your little yellow activator, whatever your story is from using these amazing activation products, start documenting it and sharing it on your social media stories. And then your neighbors and your family, guys, don't ever forget about the people that you already know. Even if you've shared this with them at one point, everything has changed and it's time to go back and share it with them again, maybe finding out where they're at, what their pain points are. And if there is something that we can provide a solution to, make sure that you let them know in a kind, loving, and not a throw up sort of way. Just an invitation to, hey, if I knew something that could help you with that, would you want to know about it? Right?
And that's verbal vomit, not food vomit.
Exactly.
Throw up, verbally vomiting.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means not following the ITT.
Yeah. So lots of options, guys. Pick them. Pick what you want to do. You don't have to do it all. Pick 3, 4. And if you are somebody that likes to do it all, then do what you can with that. But you have to stay focused too, because when you try to do it all, sometimes you can lose things and it slips through the cracks. So another reason why to use the app, because it'll help you with your tracking.
You know what? Probably one of the greatest things that you can do is use the products, because when you do, people notice.
Right here, we got purple grape and
yeah, they watch you. I mean, Axio, they drink it, but all of our products, when you use the products that are relevant to you, people would just notice there's something different about you. You look younger, your hair is sparkling, your skin is glowing. What are you doing? It opens conversations that happens all the time, but you have to be a product of the product.
Yep, absolutely.
Products, plural. This is where the vulnerability comes in, guys. We're going to close with these last 2 slides. So,
an invitation.
And an invitation, yes. So just to put it in perspective for you, somewhere right now, there is someone you know that is drowning, literally drowning in debt. Maybe that debt is coming from medical bills because of a health challenge. Maybe it's they're drowning because in the information they're trying to acquire to figure out what products to take to get more wellness in their life, because they want to stay on top of their health and wellness and improve their immune system. Maybe people have looked and looked and looked and they don't have any answers, and there's so much information it just doesn't make sense because some of it's contradictory and it's overwhelm, and they feel hopeless. I guarantee you there's more than one that are in that situation right now. And one thing that could change everything is a text from you. Hey, how you doing? Haven't talked to you for a while. Or an email from you, or a phone call from you, or a comment on their Facebook post. Hey, let's get together. It's been a while. Just reaching out could be the lifesaver that they need. And how do I know that? Because when I'm going to get vulnerable and I'm going to try to get through this couple of seconds here without really losing it. Back in February, we were in San Marco Island on the Elite Retreat, and we were asked to film these little segments by corporate. And it was a project that Taylor Worry had. And it was very, very dim light to set the very dramatic mood. We had no idea what we were getting into. We walk in, we sit down. just to kind of start some small talk. And then Taylor, while we're on camera being filmed, he just said this question. He asked this question: what would your life be like if no one shared LifeVantage with you? I instantly felt a pit in my heart because I know where I would have been. I would not have been in San Marco Island. I would have been miserable. I would have had kids who didn't know me, never saw me, patients that loved me, radio show listeners that loved me, and a family that hated me. That's where I would be. Somebody extended a life vest or a life raft like this to me with a phone call and an invitation to watch an ABC primetime video that I just happened to already be taking the product. So it made sense. But if nobody would have made that call, I would have been miserable. My kids would have hated me. I never would have met this amazing human being. So just don't ever underestimate the power of a single invitation. A single invitation can change everything for somebody. So get out of your own way and realize this is reality, especially now in the world. There's more than ever. And if you just look through your phone and count all the names in your phone, probably 25% of them could use a call from you right now. That you could give them something, a word of advice, a word of encouragement, and maybe a life raft like you see there that could change everything for them. Reach out and do it.
Yeah, even just knowing that you care.
Yeah.
Could be that life raft. So yeah, so do that.
Because what if you keep the information to yourself and they hear about it from someone else, and then they find out you knew and didn't say anything? How uncomfortable would that be? Probably more uncomfortable than them calling you crazy. How about looking at them and go, you knew about this and you didn't tell me? And I heard about it from this person over here who was kind of a stranger. How uncomfortable is that going to be? Or what if no one tells them at all? And you see them later and they're just completely distraught, or they've lost everything. And you know in the back of your mind, and you know in your heart of hearts, you could have helped them. Even if they said, it doesn't matter whether they say yes. It matters whether you reach out, because they all have the choice. There will be people that it could benefit and they'll look at you and go, thanks, but no thanks. And you don't even understand. Don't try to understand. You never will. But what you need to understand is that if you don't, it could change someone's life for the rest of their life, and even end their life soon because of health or disease or at their own hand or whatever. And this is something I know to be true. I have heard, Marcy and I collectively have heard so many stories. Some of them hit right here in our home. What if somebody wouldn't have told us about this?
I probably wouldn't be here on this planet, guys. I had already had 4 suicide attempts. And Bob and Laura didn't know about that. They just thought about me and they followed through with that. And they invited me to take a look at some information that forever changed my life. So you may think that people in your life have everything going the right direction and everything's great, but actually behind their closed door, it's really not. So share,
right now.
share. Okay. Now we want to share something with you guys, because we learned this over the weekend. And do you guys recall Sarah Harding? She's an Elite Pro 7. She works with Kamal really closely on the development of the app. She's done some of the app trainings, but she is so brilliant with this app. So good. She did a training on Saturday and we were sitting there like, whoa.
Jaw on the floor.
Like seriously, whoa. So what if you could have some personalized training by Sarah Harding on a weekly basis? Would you take advantage of it? Because that's exactly what she offers. She offers 2 different opportunities. Well, actually 1 call a week, and then being part of the social training. So on Monday, they're at 6:30 Mountain Time, which is here in just 5 minutes or so. The ID number is right there. It's on Zoom. So take a screenshot of this. And then at 7:30, it is the One Team Social. So she's talking about how she uses social media. So the first one is going to be app training. The second one's going to be social media training. And then Telegram, you can join her on Telegram as well. At Crunchy Supermom is how you can find her. So this is an invitation to you. If you would like to learn more about how to use the app, we don't say that you need to be on this every single week, guys, but I think that you should participate. I know that we are going to be able to learn better about how to utilize this tool, but so that we can put it into action, not so that we're perfect at it, so that we can take the tool and be able to use it and learn as we are building our business. So earn while you learn. Don't wait to be perfect.
And thank you, Sarah Harding, for your graciousness in extending this out.
Yep, absolutely. All
Make
right,
sure to
guys.
thank her.
This is the hashtag TFR Motivation Monday call for September 13th. I cannot believe it's already September 13th. We love you guys. We hope you enjoyed this. Please make sure that you share it out. It'll be uploaded to YouTube. As soon as we're done here, make sure you go and subscribe.
Don't wait to be perfect. Fail forward fast. Just get out there and get it done.
Yes.
Love you guys. See ya.
Bye.